Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about the ending of the earth nightmares. So in the last few months I received many messages where people were writing me that they had a nightmare or a dream where they saw an end of the earth and they were scared. Like always when they've ended that dream, they were shaking out of fear. And then yesterday I saw, I think 2 or 3 comments of people having the same nightmares. But every person experienced it differently. So I wanted to make a video about it and why it is happening. So firstly, nightmares are always happening because we have a suppressed fear within our bodies. And because during our days we are not taking care of it, we are not consciously thinking about it, we are rather avoiding it. In our sleep state, our conscious mind is sleeping, so everything which is on the subconscious level can come into the center of our awareness and we start experiencing it as a movie. So our dreams are like a live movie, a 3D live movie, and it feels like it's our reality until we wake up. So it makes us wonder, what if we are sleeping right now and one day we will wake up and we will say, well, it was an interesting dream, or maybe for some people, well, it was a scary nightmare. So my friends, having any kind of a nightmare is coming most of the time from suppressed fears. But what about the prophecies, right? Because any ancient civilization had prophets which were guiding them towards the future that the prophets were predicted. Also, we know like Nostradamus was a prophet who has predicted many things which happened. Some things didn't happen. But how it works, how are we able to see the future and then it happens? How it is possible? So time is not linear. We are multidimensional beings living multidimensional realities. But in the past, when huge groups of people or societies had a leader which was always guiding that group of people, when the leader said to the group of people what is their potential future, all of those people believed to the leader, so collectively they've manifested it. But what is happening now, as we are living in the times of information, in the age of information, we all have access to infinite possible different information. It means that each of us is living our own reality. There is no, like, governments can say something to you, but you can say, well, whatever, I will dream my own dreams. Right? You can read a book, you can start visualizing, and you can start creating your own reality. You will still be a part of the same world, a part of the same collective, but your life will be your own story. So when it starts happening, many people are taking their power back because many people had learned that we can co-create our realities, because our physical existence here, our physical experience is just a glimpse on the infinite lifetime, actually just infinite life. Our physical experience is just a dream, as Native Americans were calling it a great dream, which is happening on that web of life. But many people have lost themselves in the dream, and the dream became a nightmare. The dream becomes a nightmare when we start saying to ourselves, I will be happy when this will happen. I will be grateful when that will happen. I will feel love when this whatever will happen. And they had a cure to that. Shamans were teaching that method. They had a cure to that. They said, just turn around that sentence. For example, if your first sentence was, I will be happy when I will have this money on my bank account. Or I will feel loved when I will meet my soulmate. And if you turn it around, sentence will go, I will feel love and I will attract my soulmate. I will feel grateful and money will come. I will feel joyful and beautiful experiences will come to me. So it's about shifting our state from cause and effect, like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, to causing an effect. We wake us up from the dream and we consciously start co-creating our dreams. We consciously start dreaming. Therefore, there is no place for nightmares anymore because we've woken ourselves up. So, having nightmares of the end of the world means that you've been so deeply programmed to be afraid of what is happening on the world, what is happening to the world, that you've started to believe on your subconscious level that the end of the world is coming. And because consciously you're not so much paying attention to those thoughts, you're not entertaining the thoughts so much, on the subconscious level, information is getting, there's more and more information about that certain specific topic. So maybe on your daily basis, you feel attracted to certain conspiracy theories, whatever. You feel attracted to certain negative news. You feel attracted to what is happening on the macrocosmos, and you feel attracted to what governments are doing and wars that are happening and pandemic and all of that, and you're reading all these things, and on conscious level you would say, yeah, well, my life is doing well. I feel afraid, yes, I'm not happy about the things that are happening, but at the same time you're not actually letting go of the stories. You're just letting them in, and they are sinking in your subconscious mind, because whatever we consistently repeat becomes a part of our identity. We start believing into it. It sinks into our subconscious mind and suddenly it becomes a part of us. And then you go to sleep and you find yourself in the dreams where your imagination starts mixing all this different negative information, and it creates a movie out of it, and you experience a dream. So what is the difference between a prophecy or prophetic vision of the future and a nightmare? So the great difference is that prophets were always trained to see their vision of the future, or they were born as gifted people which came into that community to guide them. So those people, prophets and great mystics, have learned that we have two different fears within us. One is our natural fear, a natural instinct, which is programmed in our physical bodies. That fear is protecting us. That fear is saying to us, do not jump off the cliff because you will splash yourself. Or, don't go into a wild forest where there are giant bears because maybe they will eat you. Or, whatever. In the past there were giant tigers which could eat you. Now we are living in a safer world. But this is our natural instinct, natural fear, which is protecting us. But the second fear is made by our mind. The prophets and mystics have learned to detach themselves from their minds, which are triggering fears within us. They've learned to detach themselves from the mind. Therefore, when they had a vision of the future, that vision was not inspired by their thoughtful fears. That vision was coming from the higher consciousness, because they've opened the channel and they were able to receive it. So it may be happening to you that you are opening the channel, but the channel can only open once we are able to detach ourselves from that analytical mind. For some people it may be much easier, especially for empaths, which are on much higher vibrations. But also for empaths, often it is important to learn to guide their energy, learn to functionally orient it, learn to be aware of their energy body more and more, so they know how they're investing it, what they are sensing, and so on. So, my friends, if you're having nightmares of ending of the world, it's not necessary that you're dreaming about the future of humanity. It would be possible, but in that case, you had that dream because your purpose is to bring the solution to the world. So, it would not happen. You know, everything has its reason. Everything has its purpose. So every time when we dream dreams like that, it is also a reminder, well, what can you provide so those things will not happen? What can you give? What can you create? What kind of solutions can you bring to the world so those things will not happen, so people will not be suffering? And it brings us, back to each individual. Be the change that you wish to see, so those things will not happen. But often when people are experiencing those things, they focus even more on their fears and not on the solutions. But what the great leaders are doing, they focus on the solutions, therefore they find a way to make it happen, right? So, if you're dealing with any kind of fear is a subconscious program which was programmed into you by information you've let yourself to perceive. Once you become more aware of what are you perceiving, you will recognize that you have a choice. You always have a choice what to focus on. And if you will choose to focus on the beautiful things, to focus on the solutions, to focus on what is important to you, to focus on love, to focus on kindness, to focus on compassion, you will see that suddenly more of this kind of information will start popping into your life. And suddenly the previous information are slowly disappearing, and you're slowly letting go of your old programs, and now you're installing new ones which are more beneficial for your growth and your evolution. So, my friends, everything is always bringing us back to choice of our free will. Will you focus on what is wrong and what is falling apart, or will you focus on what may happen in a positive way, because we all want to experience life in a positive way? Focus on your light and learn to express it. We are all light beings having a human experience. But many people have lost themselves in their minds, therefore they've started identifying themselves by the thoughts. And because each thought is triggering emotions, they will always say, It's real, I feel it. But what we actually feel is just a byproduct of our thoughts. And thoughts are a byproduct of what we are perceiving. And we've let ourselves to perceive those things, so there's no one else to blame but you, your free will. And you may say, yeah, well, but there are negative oriented leaders. There are negative things happening on the world. And yes, they are happening. Those things are a manifestation of a collective fear and collective ego and collective need of power. And by focusing on it, you are feeding it. The law of vibration. By focusing on it, you are feeding it, right? And that's why you are having this kind of negative dreams. People which are focusing on solution are dreaming the new earth. People which are focusing on solution they see where we are going in a positive way. So, my friends, each of us is living an individual reality which is part of the collective reality. So each change starts on an individual level by healing our wounds, by letting go of our need to control, urge to control things, and whatever it is which is lowering down our vibration. And slowly we start focusing on what is important to us. And we become more aware of our true selves. We open our hearts and more often we get back to our true selves. More often we get into meditative state where we meet our true self again. We detach ourselves from the mind. We detach ourselves from the thoughts, stories, beliefs, concepts. And suddenly all we feel is inner peace. We feel love for ourselves. We feel love for the creation. We experience that we are actually nothing else but an extension of the Creator, of the Source. And in that moment, we decide what we want to do with our lives, what we want to do with our light, how we want to manifest it in our lives, and how we want to affect on the collective life. So never forget that you are not insignificant, that you are significant. Always remember that you are significant and your choices matter. So always work with love. Always place your attention on inner peace and you will feel peace. Place your attention on harmony and you will feel harmony. Place your attention on inspiration and you will feel inspired. So, my friends, to everyone who is dealing with fear, take more time for your mind cleansing, mind decluttering, because you've been programmed from so many different sources. And I truly want all the best for you. I want you to be happy. I want you to be in love with yourself, to be in love with life. And in order to experience that, we need to get in touch with love so we can embody it, so we can start expressing it. Because, it's not about thinking positive if our whole body is filled with garbage. We need to let go of the garbage. We need to cleanse ourselves. We need to declutter ourselves by focusing on the love, not just thinking about it. Focus on the feeling. And take care of your self-talk. As we've been talking in the previous video, take care of your self-talk. Nurture yourself the way you want to be nurtured. Talk to yourself like you're talking to your loving pet or to your loved ones. Be your greatest friend and take care of your inner garden, your mind, your spirit. So, my friends, to all of you who are doing a great work, who are ascending, many of you may feel like this process is also painful sometimes. And it is. We are losing parts of ourselves. For whole life we've been hypnotized to think and to feel and to act certain way, and suddenly we are deprogramming ourselves, which means that we are losing a part of our identity. We are losing our ego self, and we are losing many needs and desires. And it is like we are going through the process, feeling of loss. It's natural process. We are peeling off the layers of false identity. It's a natural process. But always remember that you're always protected because you are everything. You're expression, an extension of everything. So everything is already present. Just connect to it. Let go of anything which is not you, my friends. And take time with that. Be patient. Patience is a great virtue. So, my friends, this is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's painting, Mind as the Creator. This painting is representing that great idea. Everything starts in the thought. And when we start nurturing a thought, it will become stronger. More we are repeating it, more we are nurturing it. It's like nurturing a seed. It will grow into something. So whatever is the thought that you're nurturing it and consistently repeating it will get stronger. It will turn itself into a belief. And beliefs will start affecting our behaviors. And our behaviors will start creating results in our lives. And results will show us who we are on that mental level. So when you're seeing the results, they are the reflection of your past actions. Do not get identified by it. You can see it as a great mirror of your past, so always be aware of that. So my friends, have a beautiful day. I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings, and power. Thank you from my heart for supporting my art in my Etsy shop. I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. Till next time, one love.